Okay, still in cousins. Let's get right into it, Like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. You should be subscribed if you're seeing this because we're a family. That's what we do for each other. We support. Why? Because support is free. If you have anything that you want me to go follow you, subscribe on, anything like that, please comment it down below. I will follow you back. I am not bougie. I do not care. Like I said, support is free. That's why everybody should be in their bag because all it takes is a little bit of support and you're viral. You know what I mean? So, again, if you have any social medias that you want me to follow you on or subscribe to, just comment them down below. Yeah? Yeah. And let's get right into it. We're doing some horror animations. I was gonna do a creepy Tinder one, but that will be my next one because I see this one three only three OnlyFans horror stories animated. It doesn't say true, so I don't think they're true. I think it might be fiction, but we'll see when we get into it, right? Let's get into it.
I am highly terrified of this web platform called Onlyfans. A few years back, I was dating this girl from my workplace. We met through mutual friends, and she was strikingly beautiful. Every guy at the office approached her, and she rejected all of them. Even though I had a crush on her, I never told her, because I knew she would reject me as well. One afternoon, I was sitting in the cafeteria talking to a female colleague of mine. She came to give some files to her, and we got introduced. There was something magical in her smile that blew my mind right away. We only talked for 5 to 10 seconds, and her attractive stare pierced my heart. I tried my best to control my reactions, but I was pretty sure she saw me anyway. After coming home, I cooked dinner. I turned on the TV to watch a game while eating my dinner. As the game ended, I decided to go to bed, just when I got a text from that girl. "Hi, Betty here. Took your number from Sally." My heartbeat got faster that she asked for my number on her
Don't
own
give out
and
people's
texted
numbers.
me as well. We chatted for almost an hour that night. The more
Don't
I
do
spent
it.
time with Betty, the harder I fell for her. She had dreamy eyes and a perfect figure to attract everyone's attention around her. We became closer and started dating. We went on trips and I introduced her to my common friends. Betty often stayed back at my place. I told her everything about me, but on the contrary, she shared very little about herself. I've never been to her place, but these small issues never struck me because I was too blind to think otherwise. Whatever she told me or asked me, I did without questioning her once. Being with her made me feel why people say love is blind. After a few months of dating, Betty told me that she needed to find an apartment as her previous place had been sold out to a permanent tenant.
You didn't
I
even see
asked
it.
her that if she wanted to move in with me, because I was serious about us at that moment. She replied with a spontaneous yes, as if she was waiting for me to ask her this question. I was happy that I had finally found someone to share my life with. Betty could be a bit forceful when it came to things she wanted. She wanted a big house, which was quite unnecessary for 2 people right at the moment. But to make her happy, I rented a bigger house, and we moved in there. Betty left her job, saying she wanted to teach online classes, as it'll be an easy way to make money from home. I didn't stop her, or rather, I couldn't. I let her do the things she wanted to do. I left for the office every morning, and when I came home, I often saw Betty dressed too nicely. I asked her why she dressed like that every evening, to which she often replied she wanted to look beautiful for me. I felt lucky to have so much of her attention, but something strange started to happen. Every morning I woke up with a throbbing headache. My health started to deteriorate with time. I thought this might
that a
be
bruise?
happening off the stress in my workplace, so I shrugged it off. But the problem started to grow bigger with time. I started noticing small bruises on my body, which I had no idea about. What felt even more strange to me was that Betty didn't even notice all these changes. One day, I was sitting in my cabin all tired and
Got a
worked up
bruise
when
on
my
the
colleague
face?
Cindy came to me. Andrew, are you alright? You don't look good, man," she said. I smiled and replied, "Yeah, the work stress is just getting to me." I'm thinking about taking a break and going on vacation with Betty. I saw Cindy getting extremely awkward as soon as I mentioned Betty's name. I noticed the change in her behavior and asked, "Is everything okay, Cindy?" She looked here and there and said, "You're doing good in your work. Maybe it's time for Betty to quit her OnlyFans account. I mean, this can be negative for your reputation in the office, and also, if you are serious about her." I said in a shocking voice, "What? Betty has an OnlyFans account?" Honestly, I had no problem with her using the site, but I did expect her to tell me before opting for such a way of income. Now it became clear to me why she dressed so explicitly inside the house. I said to Cindy, "How did you come to know about it?" She smiled awkwardly and said, "Well, one of my friends subscribed to her account. It's nothing, she's just posting some, eye-catching content, but she can do so much better than that, Andrew. You should talk to her." I decided to confront her after going home that night. I didn't scream
And again,
or
this wouldn't be an
overreact.
issue if she would
I
have told the
sat
truth
down
about
and
it.
asked her, "Betty, do you have an OnlyFans account?" I saw the color of her face change. She promptly replied, I wanted to tell you, but... Wait, how did you know about it?" I told her that's not important, but I expected her to be honest with me. She said in an upset face, "I feel like I pushed you to invest so much time into buying this house. This is why I thought that this could be a good way to earn some good money in a short period."
Lies.
After
More
hearing
lies.
that, I obviously couldn't be angry at her anymore. I
Why
realized
not?
she just wanted to help me and nothing else. I felt ashamed to doubt her for 1
So why
second.
you waking up
I
being
comforted
all
her
beat up?
and told her she didn't have to choose this way to help me out. Betty hugged me tightly and deleted her account right in front of me. We went out on a dinner date and things got back to where they were. But surprisingly, my morning headaches and bruises didn't stop. On a Sunday afternoon, Betty was busy showering. She kept her phone on the bed. I was watching some videos on my phone when I heard sounds of notifications coming from her phone. Her phone rang repeatedly, as if many messages came in all at once. I casually checked her phone, and as I opened the screen lock, I saw 5 to 6 texts in her notification. I clicked on the texts, and it redirected me to OnlyFans. I was extremely shocked to see Betty maintaining her OnlyFans profile, even though she just deleted it in front of me a few days back. But as I scrolled down to the profile, my heart stopped. It wasn't her only profile. It was rather a different profile, under a pseudonym. But this profile didn't have the usual contents that one could expect on an OnlyFans page. Some of the videos chilled my bones and explained everything that was happening to me for the past several
Beating you
weeks.
in your sleep?
She uploaded creepy torture videos on her profile, and in those videos, the victim is none other than me. There were videos where I was dead asleep in this very room, on this very bed, while Betty sat on me with a sharp knife looking at the camera, giving a huge smile. There was nothing magical in her smile. Rather, it was haunting and terrifying. This is not the Betty I know. She then made small cuts on my body, letting blood come out from it. She then licked my blood and looked at the camera. She started to laugh like crazy, making bizarre faces. I immediately understood that all those headaches were nothing.
Yeah, this
being
gotta be
drugged
fake. I don't think
somehow.
they let you
Betty
have that on
gave me
OnlyFans.
pills to make me unconscious, just to film these sick videos. And night after night, she kept abusing me in my sleep, just for some sick popularity and money. I got up right at that moment and went to her bathroom. I heard her humming a song and taking a bath. She seemed so innocent, but I knew she was not. I locked the bathroom door, grabbed my stuff, and left the house. I was more heartbroken than scared of being used by a woman I loved with all my heart. I never called her back or tried to contact her. Surprisingly, she never tried to find me either. I hope she understood that I discovered her dark secret because I left her phone on the bed like that. I once searched for her account to see if she was still using the OnlyFans platform. The account is still there, and she is still uploading such bizarre videos of torture and abuse. Except, in those videos, the victim is a new guy. I want to report her to the cops, but I know how extremely smart she is, and maybe I still couldn't get over her. I'm stuck in a very bad place.
Let me sick of him.
I was an avid
Murderous
user of the
intentions.
website Onlyfans. My name is Sarah. I'm 24 years old, and this happened last year. I took a job in a beauty salon. Needless to say, it didn't pay much, hence I was desperately looking for a side income. My roommate Dolly was a shy girl. She was working in a small startup. The house we stayed in was a 2-storied home. I was unable to pay the rent with just one source of income. Dolly was so kind to me that sometimes she covered my side of the rent as well. One day,
She basically
I
living there by
decided that I
herself.
couldn't keep going like this, and I had to figure out a way to make money. That's when I came across the website OnlyFans. I opened an account and within a month acquired a moderate fan base. Things started to look up for me as I managed to earn some extra cash using the website. One afternoon, I was chatting with my fans when a new subscriber texted me. "Hello, beautiful. How about a close-up of your beautiful body?" I replied by sending a picture with a $5 unlock fee. The guy paid $5 immediately and unlocked the picture. He then said, "Send me a picture of your feet." I didn't think much of it and sent another $5 unlock fee. He paid again. He started asking me to send pictures of my body parts separately. At first, I didn't think
Trying to
much of
slice
it,
you up.
but with time, his requests, they started to become creepy. He said, "Tell me, hon, how does your skin feel?" I felt uncomfortable with this question. I replied, "Just like everybody else's." He replied, "No, everyone's skin feels different. I bet yours feels soft." I sent a smiling emoji and decided to call it a day. I was about to go offline just when I received another text from the same guy. "I will pay you $50 right now if you give me your number." I was surprised. Man, this guy is desperate. I didn't want to share my personal info, but at
No.
the same time, I could use that $50. I mean, all that money just for my phone number. What maximum harm could it bring?
Could have
I
given
could
him
always
the
block
fake
him
number.
whenever I want. So I agreed with him. He paid the money as soon as I shared my number. That night, I went to bed with a smile,
Now
thinking
he's
I will
hacking
be
you.
able to start college again, as I had managed to save enough to pay for the college fees.
That's
Around
good.
2:30 in the morning, my phone rang. I was in a deep sleep, hence it took me some time to figure out everything. I woke up and saw an unknown number. "Hello? Who is this?" No one
Mr.
spoke,
Free Guy.
but I could hear someone's heavy breathing coming from the other side. "Excuse me, who are you?" "How does your skin feel when you sleep on it, Sarah?" I realized it was the same guy from last night who paid me $50 for my number. I kept calm and said, "Don't you think it's a bit late to call someone at this hour?" "I paid you $50, bitch. I own you now. You are bound to answer my call whenever I want." Drops of sweat appeared on my forehead. I said in a shocked voice, "How dare you? Who do you think you are, you jerk?" "You want to know who I am? You really want to know?
Yeah, man, you're
Bitches
closet.
like you love teasing people for money, huh? You all can go to any extent for money. Tell me, Sarah, will you let me slash your throat and stab you until your entrails come out for another $100? Think how much fun that'll be." "You piece of..." I disconnected the phone immediately. I sat in my
All
room
this, and you
panting in
sent the
fear.
money.
I wanted to call my roommate out loud, but I couldn't. I was feeling disgusted. His words took a toll on my mental health. He kept calling me. As I didn't pick up, he started to send me texts, making death threats. I blocked the guy's number immediately. The next morning, I deleted my OnlyFans account too. Needless to say, he sent me some scary messages there as well. I didn't tell Dolly all this at first. I couldn't go to work that day. I cried on my bed, thinking how stupid I was to share my number with a stranger, just for some cash. I was feeling ashamed to put myself in danger. At night, when Dolly came home from work, she found me asleep on the living room couch. She woke me up. "Sarah? Sarah, are you all right?" I slowly opened my eyes. She said, "Did you eat anything the entire day? You look sick. Will you please tell me what's going on with you?" I burst into tears and explained how a psycho dude threatened to kill me over the phone last night. She calmed me down. Dolly prepared food for me, and we decided to go to the cops the next day to file a report about this guy. That night, I requested Dolly to sleep beside me, as I was terrified to sleep alone. After dinner, we both watched a movie, just to take our mind off, and drank some wine. Around 11:30, we went to sleep. It was a warm summer night. None of us had AC in our rooms for obvious financial crises, so mostly during summer we kept our windows open. Dolly was a heavy
Get a fan
sleeper,
or something.
so she fell asleep within minutes, even though I was distracted a bit. The wine helped me to fall asleep that night. I have a habit of going to the washroom in the middle of the night. I woke up probably at around 1 to 1:30 and went to the washroom, which was at the end of the corridor. I locked the bathroom door and did my business. I was washing my hands in the sink when I heard a muffled cry. I was in a half-awake, half-sleep state, hence I thought I might have imagined it. I came out and started to walk towards my room. As soon as I came in front of my closed room door, I felt like there was something wrong. I stretched my hand to twist the doorknob, just when I heard the muffled cries again. What I'm going to tell you next might create a difference of opinions among you all, but trust me, I did my best that I could in that situation. Something told me that Dolly and I were not the only people in this house. Even though the room was dark, the pale moonlight coming from the window made it easy to see the room quite clearly. I could see thick liquid dripping from the tip of his knife on my floor, and Dolly was muffling in a traumatized voice. I knew that this man had already stabbed my roommate, and if I have to stop him, I can't face him empty-handed. I have to take him by surprise. There was a baseball bat in Dolly's room. I tiptoed to her room and took the bat, and then rushed towards the scene. I opened the door and bolted inside. The man was about to strike her again, and I saw Dolly fainting. Her clothes were drenched in blood. The man said in a shocked voice, "Sarah? If you're here, then who is that?" But I didn't wait anymore.
Wow.
I swung the bat hard onto his head, screaming as loud as possible. The man's lifeless body dropped onto the floor, making a loud thud. I called the paramedics and 911. Dolly got 6 stitches on her stomach, but thanks to God, she made it alive.
Amen.
The cops arrested the intruder, who was the same guy that threatened me on Onlyfans. Cops found remains of a missing girl from his house. It came out that this guy was a cold-blooded murderer who used to trap girls using platforms like Onlyfans and other social media. He has now been charged with life imprisonment. It gives me chills to this day that what if I slept in my room alone that night?
Why didn't you guys sleep in hers? Pissing me off.
For the past few
Got her
days, I've been
stabbed
going
up.
through a traumatic phase. This all started once I opened my OnlyFans account. I'm a 30-year-old divorced woman. I was being raised by a drug-addicted mother. My mom often passed out on the house floor, being high on drugs. I kind of raised myself, being honest. After I finished high school,
thing.
I eloped with my boyfriend Matt, and we started living on our own. But we were young, and sooner or later we became annoyed with each other. I started waitressing at a local restaurant. One day, I was about to finish my shift and leave for home when I overheard a random conversation. A girl was sitting at the corner table, talking to some guy in a very flirtatious manner. I heard her saying, "Well, for that you have to subscribe to my OnlyFans account. It's not much, only $10. After coming home that night, I couldn't help but think about what the girl was saying. I checked this website, OnlyFans, and realized it can be an easy way to earn some instant cash. It allows content creators to receive funding directly from their fans monthly, as well as one-time tips and pay-per-view features. This seemed like a golden opportunity to me. Hence, without thinking much, I opened an account. I was never a shy type. Hence, with time, I didn't hesitate to show some skin. I started to receive payments from fans all around the world. Every night after coming home, I sat down in front of the laptop wearing nice clothes. I talked with my fans and sent them pictures in exchange for $5, sometimes 10. Sites like these often attract creepy guys as well. I tried to handle people like that tactfully, and whenever I couldn't, I ended up blocking them. I never gave too much information to anyone, such as my home address or phone number, for safety purposes. There were many requests of people who wanted me to add them to my social media accounts, such as Facebook, but I never did. I wanted to keep these interactions extremely professional. With time, my fan base grew, and I was getting a fair amount of money to support my livelihood. Now, all this time, people asked for intimate pictures, but I remained too careful to save myself from internet fraud. So, I never posted any picture that revealed my face. As I already said, I wanted to be safe as well. One weekend, I was sitting in my room talking to some of my fans when I received a notification. A guy named Ted_B subscribed to my channel. Out of humbleness, I texted him saying, "Thanks for the subscription." The guy replied, "I had to. You make me go crazy." I laughed hearing this compliment and said, "How sweet of you." Ted started to talk to me about his regular life. He said that he worked at a department store and is currently single. I didn't want to share too much, hence I lied, saying I'm a 25-year-old woman working as a model. He replied, "Hell yeah, you got the beautiful figure." Since then, Ted became one of my most alert fans. Whenever I uploaded a picture and made any post, he was the first to like it and comment on it. He never said anything inappropriate, so I didn't see any red flags. I went on a hiking trip for 3 days. After coming back, I immediately opened my Onlyfans account for not being able to stay active for a long time. As soon as I opened the account, notifications flooded in. I was expecting this, but I noticed my inbox and saw 45 messages. I was shocked because I never got that many texts before. I opened the message box. Surprisingly, all those texts were only from one guy, Ted_B. I started scrolling through his messages. "Hey, what's up? Hello? You there? Why aren't you replying? Seems like you're too busy, huh? I pay you. It's your job to entertain me." The more I scrolled, the more his angry, irritated text scared me off. He started using slang and foul language for not receiving replies to his texts. I wanted to remove him from my fan base, but I didn't. I know I should have understood right then and there. I texted him back saying, "Sorry, went on a hiking trip. How are you?" After 10 to 15 minutes, a reply came. "Who the hell do you think you are?" Ted_B replied. I said, "What?" He went on with his hurtful rantings. "Yeah, you are nothing more than a slut, you bitch." This time, I finally lost my calm and replied, "Go to hell, you freak," and blocked him. He was probably typing more obscene messages for me, but I didn't wait to see that. I chatted with some other fans and went to bed in an awful mood. A few days later, something weird started to happen. No matter where I went, I felt that someone was following me. For example, I went to the supermarket to buy a few things. After being done with the shopping, I went to the counter to pay the bill. As soon as I turned to the exit, I saw someone swiftly move away. I didn't see anyone in particular, but the feeling of being followed started to annoy and frighten me at the same time. One night, I was coming home from work. I stopped at the bus stand. I often took the bus, which happened to arrive at 8 p.m. I sat down on the bus stand and got busy on my phone while waiting for the bus to arrive. Suddenly, a text popped up from an unknown number. "Hi, how's everything?" I replied, "Who is it?" "Your friend." I thought maybe someone was playing jokes with me, so I didn't reply anymore. Within a few seconds, another text came from the same number. "So you don't want to talk, huh?" I still ignored it. A few moments went by and I got a text. I opened it and my face turned pale in fear. My hands trembled as I read the text with shocked eyes. It read, "The red shirt is looking amazing on your beautiful figure." I sprang upon fear. I looked around me, but it was an empty street. There was nothing but street lights and this small bus stop. How did he know that I was wearing a red shirt? The hair on the back of my neck stood up in fear. Is this guy around me right now? I screamed in a loud voice. Is anybody there? But no reply came. I replied to the text. Who the hell are you? Within a few seconds, a reply came reading, Your crazy fan. My stomach dropped in fear. I
Like,
had
you think
no
that's cute?
doubts
It's not.
that this was the psycho guy from Onlyfans named Ted_B. I had no idea how he got my phone number. I called his number, and what happened next? Well, let me tell you, I never felt death from this close before. As soon as I dialed the number, a ringtone started to go off in the near distance. I looked at the bush nearby and saw a bony man coming out of it. The man came out behind the bush and stood in the middle of the road. I couldn't see his complete face, but his eyes were like a dead goat. It was so still and dangerously calm. The man then spoke in a spine-chilling voice. You should never upset your crazy fan. Do you want me to chase you? He then started to run at full speed towards me. I screamed at the top of my lungs and ran for my life. I looked back once and saw the dark figure chasing me like a wild cat. All I could spot was his hungry eyes. I ran
Where's
as
the
fast
bus?
as possible. Thankfully, I saw headlights coming from the other side of the road. There was a car coming in the opposite direction. The car stopped in front of me, and I fainted on the road. The car owner took me to the hospital. Later, I went with the cops to report about this guy. The cops couldn't catch him because I failed to see his full face. Time went by, and I came across an article about a serial killer named Ted Bundy. Right then, this terrifying feeling struck me. Ted_B. He named his profile Ted_B. It scares me to sleep to think that there are sick
Not
people in
Ted
this
Bundy.
world who idealize these horrifying criminals and even tries to follow their path. I don't know where this guy is now, but I hope he's not planning to turn himself into a monster like the serial killer Ted Bundy.
So he just followed the story. That's crazy. Well, I enjoyed that one. It was type wild. Y'all ladies, be careful out here. If you do have, that's that platform. You don't have to give nobody your information, and you don't have to give nobody no information that you don't want to give them. Period. Other than that, have a great day. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share if you want to. Why wouldn't you want to? Because we are family. That's what we do for each other. Bye.